Good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. We're now into some extreme greed here, and we have a blow off top coming. Let's get into it here. But first, if you give the video a thumbs up, helps out the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate all of you guys for also subscribing to the channel for free content on here. Also, come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. And just 2 days left on the sale. Total no-brainer. 40% off all courses, 60% off active trader, which is our day trading room, and 30% off swing trades, which has been very good here. We're killing it this year. And a couple more big winners today, one on Bitcoin, and still holding a runner on gold, which is up nicely here too. I'll talk about that a little bit. But nonetheless, markets here just melting up, and right now, it's only up 30 basis points. And to be fair, we're basically just sitting at where we were last Friday. But again, not really, and we're not able to get through this kind of, I hesitate to call it a double top because it's like we haven't really dipped enough for it to be a double top to me. But I guess on a intraday basis, like on a, when you look at it on an intraday chart, it's a double top. You can see the cues there as well. So we're not, it's not like we're, in a runaway mode here, but it feels like we are. But, we are getting into just kind of some, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday too, but it's been a little bit of frustrating as a primarily an ES and Q trader, because, I'll just show you my day trading lines here. Like we just get to, overnight we do this and we get to my first support and that's it, and that's at 3 in the morning. I can't trade that. So I've been trading, gold and Bitcoin lately, and that's been doing really well. Just as an alternate here, because the Asia session is just front running these moves, and we're just kind of in that melt up phase here. Definitely starting to see, again, this is not a factor to take a trade, but you are into extreme greed CNN. If you want to take that with a grain of salt, you can and probably should. We did see NAIM tick up last week, and I think we actually got that today. So actually dipped a little bit. So to be fair, that did dip down a little bit. Anecdotally, though, just for me, kind of like reading the room, a lot of the like permas that are on my feed constantly, they're really quiet right now. That's usually a bit of a sign. We're also seeing like a lot of everything run, like heavily shorted things that I've talked about. Delta Airlines, airlines are quite aided here. They beat on all fronts, then they guided up, I believe. Very nice move there for Delta. One that I have right now is this is one of my hated, shitco plays is Coles. This one up nicely here, nice inside bar, nice uptick there. Home builders were very much hated for a while. They've been rallying. XHB continuing to inch up. A lot of healthcare stocks inching up today. You can see J&J. So again, just sectors that, and even like transports here. Delta holding up the transports right now. This is with, reports that the consumers tapped out, things of that nature. So we are seeing that kind of just big thrust here in the have-nots. And we've talked about that and said, you kind of want to get out of technology a little bit and get some more exposure to small caps and healthcare and other things. KRE's had a nice run off the lows too. So that's kind of been the thesis here. Right now, I don't really see us getting much past, even if we were to melt up kind of like the next week or so, I don't see us getting much past 6,400 at the current time. 63 is going to be pretty tough too, at least for this week. And we're seeing a little bit of a dip here as we get into the last 10 minutes. We're not going to make too much out of that. And also, as I said, volatility is starting to get a little cheap here too. I don't see the VIX going much below the 15 handle, to be completely honest. Can it go a little bit lower? Sure, but I don't see it going much past that, to be totally honest. So, and we are also seeing some signs of rotation out of, I don't want to say chips specifically, but more so AI names, like Broadcom, Palantir, Nvidia, just under the hood. So, and Nvidia touched 4 trillion today. So, that happened. I guess that's going to get that out of the way. Yeah, I touched that during market hours, so that got that headline out of the way. But we're definitely starting to see that a little bit here in the tape. Dark pool also kind of exploding up here at the highs too, usually a little bit of a sign. So again, it's like the way that these things happen is it's so quiet, it feels like it's impossible to for the market to go down, and then it just does. But we will have another like pocket of volatility coming up. But right now we're in that summer melt up mode. It's kind of on autopilot. A lot of hedges are just decaying very rapidly, and we'll see that culminate next week. But right now, kind of hard to fight the market, kind of hard to fight the rally. We've been saying that the whole way, and we've been doing very well by not doing that. I know it's hard to do sometimes because you think that it's being contrarian when it's going up. Oh, I want to be short because everybody, if it's going up, it must mean that everybody's long, but that's not always the case. In fact, that's not even at all the case. The case is positioning crowded, not price, right? But nonetheless, market's holding up. And again, if we're going to have a big haircut, you can, I always say this too. If you think we're going to have a huge 20% decline, right here, right? We'll use SPY so we can see the volume. What did it hurt you to just go short right here with a stop above the high? Upon that confirmation, that confirming sell, right? You could just go short right here. You had zero risk doing that. I mean, what's this, 1% versus the 25 on the downside? So, and that's kind of, that's kind of the whole thing that I'm saying here is like everybody, oh, this is going to be the high. Oh, this is going to be the high. Oh, this is going to be the high. Oh, this is going to be high. And they keep moving the goalposts all the way up, and they're just destroying their account. So that's what I'm saying here. But nonetheless, market holding up well. We had some nice trades again this morning in Bitcoin. I'm just going to use the futures. We'll look at it later. But actually, you know what? Let's just flip over. I'm pretty sure I have it up here. But yeah, and this is why I always leave runners on every single trade, specifically day trades, even if I don't think they're going to go up. So we had, a signal here that, got us in at 10,009. And, just show you that the line we had there, it was. We clipped it, got up, retested it. And I thought we would have an inside day today. I thought Bitcoin was just going to be an inside day. We'll put in maybe an inside hammer after the big move yesterday. But guess what? We're up like 3,000 points now on this, just from holding a runner. So that's been a huge addition there. We also are holding a runner on gold too, which, as you can see, is continuing to inch up there on GLDM. My window might be blocking it, but it is inching up nicely. So a lot of trades out there. And silver, I talked about this a lot on Twitter. But I've been giving out these dealer levels here, 33.50. I said that would be an area that needs to turn positive, and it did. I talked about this morning as well. I said this was a bullish rejection. So the COMEX open here, 9 o'clock, big pump rejection. But then look at how it settles with higher lows. That's telling you sellers showed up, yeah, but they don't have any clout. They don't have any control, right? If you're going to reject a level, you need to wipe it out, right? And that's what happened here. They didn't wipe it out, and it came right back up. Next week, silver looks really good on the. I don't see any negativity into July OPEX for SLV. So I think SLV can see 35 next week easily. So this breakout to me appears to be like it has some legs, unless sellers show up big time tomorrow. So silver looking good here, and again, that's good for our gold trailer, and Bitcoin acting well too. QQQ. So just kind of get back to the indexes. Again, QQQ, again, a little bit of distribution in tech, and small caps still kind of the leader there. They did hit our 225 target. We've been talking about that for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to 230 though. And the Dow here, that should at least try to test all-time highs too. Chips, again, not doing a ton. Little evening star that didn't follow through. Now a hanging man. So I would prefer to see a better gap, but it's there. Let's see the stocks. Same kind of deal. IGV did take a little bit of an outside move, but no damage here. I mean, yeah, you can make a case, maybe a little island, but you're above the 20 MA, so who cares? Little uptick in volume, though, so just make note of that mentally. Again, transport's big update here. It is coming in now at the end of the day. I see a lot of things dipping here. Market about to close in about 10 seconds. So Yeah, just a little dip. It's getting bought right now. It's probably just day traders locking out before the end of the day. But nonetheless, transport's holding up well. There's the bell. And yeah, Delta, a lot of earnings next week too. So that can also be a catalyst for some movement. But I think it's, then we have CPI too. But I think there's other reasons why we could stop next week. But anyway, yields up a little bit today. Let's not make too much out of that. I didn't even look at the auction, honestly. It looks like that marked the high of the day for bond notes. Again, we talked about XHB. That continues to be strong. Into the 200, it's backing off there. Look at this trend line here. That goes back a ways. Beautiful. So head and shoulders, boom, neckline turns into resistance with the 200 MA. So maybe that stalls out there. No sell signal. VNQ still coiled like a spring. IYR, I think it's a little bit better of a look. Like this looks like it just, if it's going to break this out, it's going to gap above. I think that's going to be like the look there for those. XLF here up 32 cents. Nice move there. KRE up 43 cents. KBE up 38 cents. So they're trying to flag here. And then you've got the broker dealers here up 1%, new all-time high, new all-time closing high. Oil down $1.48. There's nothing for me to do with this. XLE up 67 cents. This is acting a lot better. Again, hated sectors are doing a lot, a lot more here. And that's definitely a hated sector. Nat gas falling, getting back towards $3. Dollar index just needs a catalyst. Maybe it's CPI, or maybe it never comes. But the catalyst is, the positioning is there for a squeeze. It just needs a catalyst. We talked about gold and silver extensively. Platinum still acting well. Palladium, big up move, up 5.48. We talked about this pattern last 2 days. I said this is bullish. It's ready to go, and there it is. And by the way, Marie, thank you. You reminded me on Bitcoin, but I did say on Tuesday that I was like, yeah, Bitcoin's ready to go if it wants to Wednesday. So I forgot that I even said that, but yeah, so we got that too. So there it is, new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And again, you don't need to fight it. I don't understand why everybody's trying to short a breakout here. If it fails, and it you get an engulfing reversal on volume, then just short it with a stop above the high. But don't fight the trend. Like, over and over, I got to say this because this is what I think there's like a cycle that everybody goes through. You start out as a bear and then you either go broke or you stop. Because we all did it. Is this going up or down? Right. Let's look at an all-time chart of SPX. Right. Is this going up or down? Why are you shorting? Short when it's going down, not when it's going up. But that said, we can look for clues for rotation and things of that nature that can set us up for, to capture those volatility pockets. But, you don't need to, if there's going to be a big move, you don't need to get in front of it. Let the market, let the institutions be the heroes, and then just jump on just ride their coattails. That's all we're doing on the way up too, just FYI. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Take advantage of that deal. 1 day left. I will see you guys all tomorrow.